Right, hi guys, welcome back to the Chaos Zone. Today I'm doing a really quick video. Well, it's not going to be that quick, there's a lot to get through, but a really quick card review of all of these Old God cards. So we're going to get started with the Druid Mark of Sharish. It's a Mark of the Wild, but you get a card if it's a beast, and there's no taunt, so pretty balanced. You really do want to draw cards as a beast druid, so seems good. Maya Keeper, 5/5 stats for 4 mana? Sure, sign me up. Or you can gain a mana crystal and skip your 5 mana crystal turn straight to 6, but yeah, whatever. Galaxy Amber Weaver, this is a Showwind Yeti on steroids. You're gaining 5 health if your Cthulhu is big enough, but probably won't be by turn 4, so it's basically just a Yeti. Unless you play this late game, in which case it's pretty strong anyway. Whispers the Old Gods, get it, guys? Wisps, not whispers. Yeah, this card is... It's kind of like the Cenarius effect, but with Cenarius, it's actually on a decent body. This one, you could summon the Wisps, but Wisps. Infest, this is pseudo card draw for hunters, but you need to have minions, and you also need them to die, so it's basically a Cult Master, but I guess it's a permanent effect, whereas Cult Master, if it dies, you just lose all of the card draw that you could have potentially got. Giant Sandworm, this is going to be awesome if it stays alive, but you get to, like, hit everything on your opponent's board and then go face with it as well. It's like going face as a hunter. Yeah. Okay. The Call of the Wild thing. It's always Huffer, guys. It's always Huffer. This is actually really strong. It's like 8 mana for 9 mana's worth of things and 3 cards worth of things. Yeah, sure. Sign me up. And it has charge. Oh, yes. Forlorn Stalker. This is... They're trying to do the whole Death Rattle Hunter thing again, but Undertaker's gone, so why would you... I don't know, it seems okay, though. A lot of the Death Rattle minions have disappeared, though. Faceless Summoner, 6 mana, 5/5, and then you get probably a 2/3, or maybe even a 3/4. It's crazy, crazy strong, and there's randomness in it. What is not to love? Servant of Yogg-Saron, this is less crazy strong, but there's a whole lot more random. And it could go terribly. Cabalist's Tome, add 3 random mage spells to your hand. Value Central. You could, like, Cabalist's Tomeception. It's going to be amazing. Then we have Forbidden Flame, which is not that great. You can't even go face with it. Demented Frost Cooler, this is just a considerably worse water elemental. I guess you can cast multiple spells in a turn and freeze loads of things, but most of the time it frees the enemy hero, and it's just pointless. Stand Against Darkness is 5/1/1, so there's not a whole lot to talk about. It just shows you how strong Muster was. You don't even get a weapon. Screw that. Steward of Darkshire, this is the buff that Magma Ranger finally needed. It's actually better than Ice Ranger, guys. Oh yes. And it gives Divine Shield to your hero power, so it's actually really strong. Just whatever else 1 health minions you choose to summon. Fin Inquisitor, why isn't this a Shaman card? Come on now, Blizzard. Shamans really needed to change their hero power to Murlocs, and then everything would be so much better. But no, it's a Paladin card. It makes your anything happen terrible. Yeah. Forbidden Healing. I guess it's really versatile, but half the time you don't want to heal for only double the mana you spent. That's why you use this next card, Ragnaros Lightlord, to heal for 8 anyway. Hopefully you'll be the only damage-friendly character, because at the end of your turn, well, during your turn, you can sack off all your tiny things, and it only heals Ragnaros or yourself. It's pretty strong. And it can hit face, or minions, but face. Then we have the Shadowwood Horror. How many minions have 2 or less attack? Let me think. Haunted Creeper? No. Mad Scientist? No. The thing that Sludge Belcher? No. Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, it completely destroys Zoo, but that is about it. More board clears for Priest. Forbidden Shaping. Great if you get Tyrion, otherwise just a bit mediocre, like the rest of the Forbidden cards. Embrace the Shadows. This is an Organized Soul Priest in a spell form, and it's 2 mana, so face Priest, possibly. Confirmed. Herald Velazhnish. You need minions on the board for this to work, unfortunately, but I guess even if you have a couple of minions on the board, you're just getting stat value. But if you have minions on the board as a priest, you're probably winning anyway, so it's just seals the game if you have some powerful minions on the board. Then we have Shifting Shade. This is a half of a Thought Steal as a Death Rattle with a 4/3 minion for 4. That's pretty balanced. Undercity Huckster, this is half a Burgle as the Death Rattle of a 2/2 minion for 2. Also pretty balanced. Shadowcaster, so many shenanigans can happen with this minion. It's going to be crazy, I'm sure, if people decide to actually try and experiment with this. Hopefully they will. I'm going to experiment with it. Social Tea, you stop the game, have your cup of tea, and grab some cards, decide, okay, I'm back, we can continue playing now, and then you just backstab 3 of their minions. Or, I don't know, other cards. Value Rogue, Control Rogue, could be okay if the meta slows down. I guess you can prep it, but it's a bit expensive as well. Who knows? Zariel, Poison Mind. This is an exciting card. You get combo enablers and they're spell synergy enablers, and half of them are really quite strong cards anyway. So this seems pretty good, and you get 2 of them. Then we have Thing from Below. This is basically a free 5/5 taunt, because you're going to be using hero power a couple of times, hopefully as a shaman. You would expect before you want to play this anyway. So that's going to be really strong. Hammer of Twilight, this is so much better than Charged Hammer. Thank you, Blizzard. You're getting a 4/2 elemental on the second turn when you're clearing out things that would kill 4/2 elementals. Yeah, that's going to be good. Master of Evolution, a Recombobulator on steroids, and it's another Yeti type thing. You're getting a 1 cost more minion, so you can get some value back out of your used Battlecry minions, or you can heal up damaged minions. It's going to be pretty good. Halaziel the Ascended, this time you're healing up yourself and wiping the opponent's board, and possibly your own board if you use Elemental Destruction, but that will kill this guy as well. But yeah, that's actually really strong. That might make Aggro Shaman not have to be the only Shaman. Controlling mid-range Shaman, please. Yes, please. Excited. Possessed Villager, this is an Argent Squire, but instead of Divine Shield, it's a Death Rattle. So I guess N'Zoth resummons it, but that's about the only difference. Spreading Madness, kind of like a board clear. 3 mana as opposed to 4 like Hellfire. Good if your opponent has a big board. Renounced Darkness, you could have some super good Warlock early game, like aggro-y, Zooey kind of Warlock, then you replace everything with some mid-range cards. You have some pretty good mid-range, and then you use Elise, replace everything with legendaries, have some amazing late game. Could be really fun. It's like RNG everywhere, so I'm going to absolutely adore this card. Doom, destroy everything! Actually, no, only destroy all the minions. But you also destroy your deck, because you're going to be drawing loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of cards. And then you can mill yourself, and you're going to go into fatigue, and you're just going to die. Just play Twist than the other guys. Cho'Gall, it seems really good, actually. Kind of. If you have the right spells in your hand. You have to probably be using either Siphon Soul or Shadow Flame with this guy. Otherwise, it's not that strong. But you do take some damage. Probably worth it. N'Zoth's First Mate. This is going to be pretty good in Arena, because 1-attack weapons can pick off all of the early game, hopefully. That 1 extra damage is like a ping effect for a warrior, which is actually really strong. But in Constructed, you're probably not going to be wanting to play a 1 mana minion in Warrior. Unless you've come up with some really cool Pirate Warrior, which I encourage. Please do that. Tentacles for Arms. I like the art of this card. Ravaging Ghoul. This is really cool. It's like a Whirlwind is strapped to a 3/3 for 3. So that's like pretty strong. And obviously warriors have loads of synergy with damaging your own minions. So it's nice. Ancient Shield Bearer. This is Shield Maiden on steroids. You're gaining 10 armor, which is double the amount, but only if your Cthulhu has 10 or more attack, which it might do by turn 7. So it's going to give you the 10 armor, and that will help you get to actually be able to play your Cthulhu on turn 10, because hopefully you're still alive by then. Blood Warriors. This is like Echo of Medivh, but you're having to activate the minions so that you can copy them, which requires mana and more cards. So this is probably worse than Echo of Medivh. So yeah, it's not that great. Infested Tauren. This card is just balanced. You're effectively getting 4/5 for 4 mana, but it's more like a 2/5, and the first half has Taunt, the second half doesn't have Taunt. It's not like a Sledge Belcher. It's just a little bit too balanced. It's pretty boring. Corrupted Healbot, this card is interesting. You could use Orcanine, stuff like that. But for a 5 mana 6/6 that can't really go face. Polluted Hoarder, this is a double loot hoarder without double the draw, so not that great, possibly. It's again, like most of these, it's pretty balanced, but it's going to be okay in Arena, I can imagine. It trades up and stuff. Validated Doomsayer. This card is pretty interesting as well. I mean, you can steal it with Cabal Shadow Priest, but then you have to wait a turn for its attack to go up to 7 on their side of the field as well, so you get the chance to kill it. It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. We're going to try it out. Hugger, Doom of Elwyn. This is like the counter to Cthulhu or big AoE arcane missiles-y stuff. So you're getting a 2/2 taunt whenever this takes damage, and then the 2/2 taunts can absorb some of the damage, so you get less damage to your face, which is nice. And taunts are always good. I love taunts. Everyone loves taunts, especially when they're first new to the game. Mukla, Tyrant of the Veil. This is a really solid card. You're adding those 2 bananas, so it has like spell synergy, buff synergy, combo synergy. Yeah, it's really quite a decent card. Deathwing, Dragon Lord. Put all dragons from your hand into the battlefield when it dies, which is actually a really slow effect, because it has to die first. And a 12/12 dying, that's going to take some time unless they remove it. But if they willingly removed it, they probably silenced it. Blood of the Ancient One. If you control 2 of these, you get a 30/30. That's what the Ancient One is. Why wouldn't you want a 30/30? Well, probably because a 2/9/9s is better than a 30/30, most likely, and they can just remove the 30/30 instead. But I'm going to try it out with like Aviana, Innovate, 2 Blood of the Ancient Ones on the same turn, get the 30/30, smack them in the face, make a Trodden video. Cult Apothecary. This is a conditional heal bot, I guess. Sometimes you heal for more, most of the time you probably heal for less. It's a slightly better body, but I don't know how well this will do. Scaled Nightmare, another interesting card. We'll see how well it does. Like most of these, it's going to be pretty fun to mess around with, like Blessing of Kings it, and then just one-shot your opponent or something. But yeah, the Bogey Monster. This is a... Oh, I keep forgetting the name of this card. A Boulder Fist Ogre that can't go face. It just has to keep picking off smaller minions and hoping that it doesn't die so that you can eventually go face with it, maybe? Doesn't seem all that strong. Yisharaj, Rage Unbound. This is the first of the old gods here, and very similar to most of the other 10-cost minions in this expansion. You have to build your deck around it. You have to stick loads and loads of big minions in your deck, so that when you play this guy, you don't just get like Possessed Villager or something. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun in Astral decks, but other than that, I don't see this being particularly viable. Spawn of N'Zoth, pretty good in Zoo. I mean, all you have to do is buff 2 minions for it to be worth it. And yeah, that's all there is to say about this. Eater of Secrets. This is like the secret counter of this expansion. Kezan Mystic is arguably better against Mage and Hunter, but this is meant to be a Mysterious Challenger counter, finally. Just as all the Mysterious Challenger-y Paladin-y cards are going away. So Secret Paladin probably isn't going to be as strong. But still, we need a secret counter, so Freeze Mages don't just dominate everything. Tentacle of N'Zoth. This is like a explosive sheep, but only 1 damage as opposed to 2, which is a pretty big deal actually. But it's going to be good at controlling most of the tokens, but again, most of the tokens have left the game. We'll see how well it does. Face the Shambler, you have to have a big minion on the board, and then you get a big minion with Taunt. Yeah, sounds good. Pretty weak to Silence, possibly weak to BGH if that doesn't get nerfed. But so a lot of these cards, so I've just skipped that fact. So I don't know. It could be fun, could be interesting, but like most, as I keep saying, we'll see how it does. N'Zoth, the Corruptor. Okay, another card. You build your deck around it. You stick in loads of powerful Death enemies. You stick in Tyrion. You stick in Sylvanas. You stick in Shelmore. So that when you finally summon this guy, so long as they've died first, which is quite... It's debatable whether that will have happened by turn 10 if you've drawn this guy. Then you get a pretty damn strong turn 10. But if they don't have Taunt or anything, you might just straight up die. Cthulhu, again, you have to build your deck around this guy and fill it with the Beckoners and Elders and Cultists and Chosen guys. You've hopefully seen the Beckoner of Evil Twilight Elder. Scarum Cultist is just a flipped Boulder Fist Ogre, but that's considerably worse than a 6/7. And then the +2/+2 is pretty good, but I don't see why you'd play this. I don't know, if you got Cthulhu, may as well. Cthulhu's Chosen, though, it's actually a pretty good card because it's like a Silvermoon Guardian, but with better stat distribution. Can trade up with more things. Then we have Twilight Summoner. This is a what's it called? Nerubian Egg, but already activated for you, and it spawns a better thing, but that's why it's 4 mana. So we'll see how well that does. Ancient Harbinger. You know that big 10 mana minion that you've built your deck around? Yeah, put that in your hand. Yeah, pretty strong. That's why it has to be at the start of your turn, so that your opponent has the chance to remove it. And boy, will they go out of their way to remove this. Yeah, it's a really strong effect, but how likely you are to pull this off is debatable. It's probably not going to happen. Still got the Slitherer, big-ass taunt dude. Still weak to silence, so face hunters still go face. We need a taunt that can't be silenced. Come on. Blizzard, what are you going to do? Like, we're not making the face hunters cry enough with this card. Then Yogg-Saron, finally. Build your deck around this guy. Fill it with loads of spells. Finally play him. Madness happens. But whether that madness is good or bad is yet to be seen. Most of the time it's okay. It's probably worse than Cthulhu, but it's going to be considerably more hilarious than Cthulhu. So I encourage you guys to try this one out. It seems like an absolute blast. And that's about it. That's all I have to say on this. I've been speaking non-stop for like 20 minutes now. So hopefully you guys are still listening. But if you are, thank you very much for tuning in and paying attention to me. If you have your own opinions about this, obviously stick those in the comments. Tell me whether I'm wrong about things. I probably am. I usually am. And if you've liked this video, then do the thumbs up thing. I'm pretty new to the whole YouTube thing, so any single like will mean a considerable amount to me. And with that, I am done. So I'll see you guys. Good game, my friend. Good game. Outplayed.